Welcome all. Today in this section 7.2, we are going to be studying the integration technique when we see combinations of trig functions. The earlier section 7.1, we saw integration by parts is one of the techniques where we have combinations of functions. Here in this section, combinations of trig functions such as sine and cosine, or it could be tan and secant, or it could be cotangent and cosecant combinations. So we will be using mainly lots of Pythagorean identities here, various versions of Pythagorean identities from trig class, which is sine square plus cosine square equal to 1. The variations of that sine square, if you isolate, then it becomes 1 minus cosine square. If you isolate cosine square, it becomes 1 minus sine square. Then one more Pythagorean identity is 1 plus tan square equal to secant square x. And the third, 1 plus cotangent square equal to cosecant square x. We'll be often using these trig identities throughout our calculus 2 class. It's worthwhile memorizing those. Now, for this problem, we are going to first evaluate sine squared times cosine cube x dx. So it's a sine cosine combination. Now, take a look at the exponent of sine and exponent of cosine. So decide which one is even, which one is odd. So here, the first one is an even exponent. Sine exponent is even, cosine exponent is odd. The integrand is a sine and cosine combination. Cosine x has an odd exponent. Then that means you have to save one of the cosines. So cosine cube is made up of cosine times cosine times cosine. So three of the cosines, they are getting multiplied. So one of the cosines you are going to save, then you're going to substitute the other trig function that is involved in the problem, which is sine x. Then you will also be using the Pythagorean identity, cosine square x equal to 1 minus sine square. So let's use all the information that is there. So first you will be looking at which of the trig function has an odd exponent. This works only for sine and cosine combination. So which one has odd exponent? Then you save whichever is the odd exponent. Then you substitute the other trig function as equal to u. So I'm going to write u equal to sine x. Then du equal to cosine x dx. Then we will write the given integral as I, as we normally do, the sine square x, which we are going to replace by u. Then we have cosine cube x, that's the one. We are going to write that as cosine square times cosine x dx, because that's what we said. We are going to save one of the signs, right? That's the one we are saving. So cosine cube can be written as cosine square times cosine x. Now we are also going to use the Pythagorean identity cosine square equal to 1 minus sine square. So that's what we mentioned here. Cosine square equal to 1 minus sine square. So that is the Pythagorean identity. So use that. So which will be equal to integral. Now it is sine square x. Then cosine square x is 1 minus sine square by Pythagorean identity times cosine x dx. Now we want to convert everything to the variable u. Sine equal to u, so sine square equal to u square. Then we have 1 minus sine square, that is equal to u square. Then we have cosine x dx. Cosine x dx equal to du. So substitute du. That is for this part, du. So now it's easy to integrate. So distribute the u, which is u square minus u to the power 4 du. Then if you expand, if you integrate, it is u cube over 3 minus u to the power 5 over 5 plus an additive constant. But u is sine x in the problem. So if you get back to the original variable, it is sine cube x over 3 minus sine to the power 5x over 5 plus a constant. Let's try the next problem, which is also sine cosine combination. But here you notice sine as an odd exponent. So integral sine cube theta times cosine to the power 4 theta d theta. Here sine has an odd exponent. The cosine has an even exponent. So you should always pay attention to which one is an odd exponent, sine. That's the one you would save. The other trigonometric one, cosine, should be substituted as u. So sine theta exponent is odd, save a sign, then substitute the other trig function, which is cosine theta as u, and use the Pythagorean identity to write sine square theta equal to 1 minus cosine square theta. So here we are using the first variation to Pythagorean identity, sine square equal to 1 minus cosine square in this problem. So let's write, we will call the given integral as I. This integral sine cube theta cosine to the power 4 theta d theta. I'm saving one of the signs, right? I'm saving one of the signs. So let's save sine theta d theta. So because it's sine cube, I already have taken the sign. So I should write here sine square. Sine square times sine will become sine cube. Then cosine to the power 4 theta, we will write that as cosine square the whole square. The reason is we are going to use sine square equal to 1 minus cosine square. In fact, we can write here this cosine square need not be written this way. We can write this as cosine to the power 4 theta because u equal to cosine theta. Only in the sine square, in the next step, we are going to write that as 1 minus cosine square. That's what the suggestion here tells us, the Pythagorean identity. So we are going to write that sine square as 1 minus cosine square. So that would be our sine square. Then cosine to the power 4 theta, we don't have to reorganize that because cosine theta is after all u. We are not going to do anything with that. But what is this sine theta d theta? U equal to cosine theta will give us du equal to negative sine theta d theta, right? So sine theta d theta, if I isolate, that will be equal to negative of du. So sine theta d theta equal to negative du. So this part can be written as negative du. So I, the left-hand side, can be written as integral. There is a minus sign that can be taken out entirely. Then you can distribute these two, which is cosine to the power 4 theta minus cosine to the power 6 theta d theta. If you don't want this minus sign, you can distribute the minus sign and make it cosine to the power 6 theta minus cosine to the power 4 theta d theta. If you distribute the minus, then it will be cosine to the power 7 theta over 7 on integration minus cosine to the power 5 theta over 5 plus c. So I is cosine to the power 7 over 7 minus cosine to the power 5 theta over 5 plus an additive constant. Remember that all the indefinite integral problems should have a c associated with it in the answer. So in the two problems that we have discussed, both of them are sine and cosine combination. In the first problem, you have cosine exponent is odd, cosine exponent is odd. Here, sine exponent is odd. So that is the difference. Now we can make a generalization of these two problems and say, what is a strategy whenever you have sine and cosine combination? sine to the exponent m and cosine to the exponent n dx. If n is 2k plus 1, so anytime you have an odd number, it is even plus 1, right? So 2k is always even plus 1. So if which exponent is odd, you want to pick first. And then you have to always substitute u equal to the other trig function that is involved in the problem. And also you would be using cosine square equal to 1 minus sine square, Pythagorean identity. The next, if m equal to 2k plus 1, if the sine exponent is odd in the problem, then we are going to save a sign, and then you're going to substitute u equal to cosine x, the other trig function in the problem. What trigonometric, what Pythagorean identity would you use? Sine square equal to 1 minus cosine square is what you would use. So this is these two are kind of generalization of what we did in problem number 1 and 2 examples. Next, what happens if the two exponents, both of them are even? So if the powers of both sine and cosine are even, then we would be using the half angle identities from trigonometry. Sine square x equal to 1 minus cosine of 2x over 2. Then cosine square x equal to 1 plus cosine of 2x over 2. This is 1 plus cosine of 2x over 2. Again, we will be using these trigonometric identities million times throughout the course, so it is worthwhile memorizing them in the beginning. Then, because double angle formula is that sine of 2x equal to 2 sine x cosine x. If you divide both sides by 2, you get sine x times cosine x equal to sine of 2x over 2. That is what you see right here. So these are some of the trig identities that will help us solve the problem in an easy way. Next,